Hello there, James here, making another video. Well, you know, there's a video I've always made in the past, and one's going to point out one point about cultural appropriation, and another one is about the latest thing that is hot topic as far as reparation. First, I'm going to play the word about reparation, then I'm going to add a little bit of humor with this next story. All right, then. This is Phil Scott on his on other people channel.
Debt to black Americans. We know that the California Reparations Commission had just wrapped up their public meetings and they're supposed to submit everything to the California legislator. Now, this is the thing about that. See, at one point in time, they thought that reparations, y'all talking about reparations, and y'all not getting it, whatever. We ain't paying attention to y'all. And then now reparations have became mainstream. And they're like, oh, wait, oh. Now, of course, we know them folks don't like reparations whatsoever. Because anything that's positive for black people, we know the folks don't like that. But we need to discuss something else. We need to discuss these other groups outside of them folks speaking against our reparations. Reparations has nothing to do with them. They didn't have a hand in anything that happened to us. They was nowhere in the midst at all. But yet, when we start talking about reparations, here they come. These other groups are so entitled that they think anything that we supposed to get, they supposed to get. Black folks are supposed to get anything for the harm and for the wrongs of black people. Now, we're going to review two clips today. The first clip, I want you to hear what this guy says. He's from the Hispanic community. Listen to this.
Okay, who else is coming over here?
If it's about discrimination as well, where do other races fall in all this, such as the Hispanic community or the Asian community? Do they get, monetary value as well? Or is it more focused on just, one community?
So anytime we talk about Black Americans and reparations or what's happening today and how it connects to chattel slavery, everybody suddenly wants to talk about everything else. Let's talk about classism. And there is an intersection between classism and sexism. But we're not talking about that right now. Now you want to say, well, what about everybody else? This is what happens. This is why nothing has been done all this time, because we can't stay focused on one issue at a time. We're talking about something very specific that we want to address that has not been addressed, so we need to face that first. Once we do that, or while that's happening, we can be addressing other things too. But we can't keep gaslighting and being like, well, people who are poor, they're dealing with issues too. People who are from the Asian community are dealing with issues too. No one said that they weren't. But we're trying to deal with one issue and get solutions for that first. Because it should have happened a long time ago and it still hasn't happened. So it's time to pay up.
And when I heard that, ladies and gentlemen, I was like, oh, I wish I was there. Because if you'd have told me, what about our community? What about the Hispanic community? I'm like, what about it? We're talking about reparations for black Americans, those who are descendants of slaves. Sir, is your family descendants of slaves in this land? In this land. I'm not talking about what happened in Mexico. I'm not talking about what happened somewhere else. I'm talking about in this land. Are you a descendant of slaves in this land? And we know good and well you're not. So why are you even speaking up? What about you? What is the main thing that his family said when they came here? We're coming here for a better life. We're coming here to work. We're coming here so our kids are not put in a situation like they were in my homeland. So they came over here, they got their jobs, they got their family straight, they're sending money back. They got actually what they come here for. So that alone, they should be thankful to this country and definitely Black America, because if it wouldn't be for Black America, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to come in and do anything. Let's call it what it is. And even some of the rights and protections that they have, they wouldn't have had it unless Black Americans died.
From the brewers of Summer Shandy, Juicy Peach, ripe for drinking anytime. Leinenkugels, flavor of the moment.
Very true.
They have. They wouldn't have had it unless Black Americans died for it. So if anything, you're getting what you came over here for. You coming to America is your reparations. Understand? Because a life that you're living. Now, you talking about discrimination that happens. That's part of America. We've been fighting that. Instead of clicking up with black folk, instead of saying, look, we're going to come together as one because we're dealing with the issue. Let's black people get together, let's Hispanics get together, and let's go after these white supremacists. What happened in history? The Hispanic people did not want to get in unification with black people. We're talking about historic. We know LULAC and Felix Chiarina, they did not want to get with us. He said that the black folks' problems are their problems. That has nothing to do with us. When they could have unified with black folk. We just talk about history here. They, in LULAC and the rest of them fought for the ability to be called white. When the United States was going to give them a classification as Mexican, they didn't want the classification as Mexican. They wanted to become white. This is U.S. history I'm talking about. So they had the chance to ally with black people as a collective. I'm not talking about individuals who are good people, individuals who are allies. We're talking about the collective, right? So now that black folks are taking their next stand about reparations, you can't backdoor and talk about what about us? Because if you didn't want to unify when you came here as a collective, if you didn't want to stand with us on everything as a collective, and black folks begged y'all to stand with us. Black folks are begging for a black and brown coalition forever. Black folks were. It wasn't on the other side. Let's call it what it is. It was black folks, black and brown, black and brown, black and brown, black and brown. Black folks have been preaching that forever. Black folks have been looking out for brown.
Even the Black Caucus.
But when it comes to this, this is something black folks got to go at it, and we got to go at it alone. And we don't need nobody to get in on this. We got it. So when it comes to him and what he's talking about, why didn't you talk about that, sir, prior to us talking about reparations? If you feel the United States owe your group something, go get it. I'm not, see, one thing about us as black folk, we're not going to stand in your way. We're not going to speak against it. We're not going to speak down on it. If they owe you something, go get it. Have at it. And if you can get it, go ahead. But nobody's going to be attaching themselves to what we got going on, because nobody else was attaching themselves to the plantation fields. We were on them plantation fields in America, picking the cotton and doing the tobacco and the sugar cane and all the different things that we have done in this country. So reparations owed to the descendants of slaves, and that's why they said lineage-based reparations. Lineage-based. It's not for racism. It's not for discrimination. It's not for they just don't like you. No, it's for slavery and everything that's attached to slavery and the harms that came from slavery and policies that was birthed out of slavery that's still here to this day. Understand? That's what reparations is about. Now, case in point, let's get to the next clip here. I want you to listen to this guy. He's going to interview a lady in his community, an Asian person. Listen to what she says.
In San Francisco, they're looking to pay reparations for black people. Should Americans pay for reparations?
Why is it just for black people?
I think it's to right the wrongs of like previous injustices such as slavery.
Is it a trial or a study?
No, I think it's just like a bill that's being proposed.
Oh, okay. There's other things in the world and in San Francisco that need to be addressed.
Do you think reparations would de-incentivize personal responsibility and hard work, or would it have positive effects?
I don't think it would have positive effects. I don't.
Now, you seen her attitude about it. At the end, she felt that reparations would not be a positive thing. This woman right here in her community has gotten millions of dollars out of the black community. The black hair care industry is controlled by her community, not the black community.
That's true.
They put their shops in all kind of black communities. They nail shops, beauty supply stores, restaurants, everything they have built in the black community. What do you mean it's not positive? Black folks always go into your businesses. If black folks get reparations, guess who's gonna get a lot of it? You. Because black, you know how some of them women, I'm not gonna say it's about all, black women are, they gonna get their nails done, They got to get
get
products,
them wigs,
right?
Get them wigs.
They got to get all. Well, okay. If those women got money, guess what? You're gonna get it.
Exactly.
So what you mean is not positive. You should be the last person that should be against reparations. But these other groups feel, well, if I can't get it and only black people can, then I am against it. Then you have some of them say, well, what about my tax dollars? Your tax dollars are owed to the government. Well, I don't want to pay reparations. If the government has to pay, it's coming out of everybody's tax dollars. And if you don't want to pay your taxes, go ahead and don't pay them. Just don't pay. Say you're not paying taxes because they gonna give reparations to black people. On a federal level, don't pay it. You'll see what happens to you with the IRS. They will have a good jail cell waiting for you. We talking about California, your state taxes. Just don't pay it. Don't pay your state tax. Let's see what ends up happening to you with California at the end. Either you gonna pay your taxes or you going to jail. And now that they repossess all your stuff, I mean they do all kinds of stuff when it comes to taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you gonna pay your taxes. That's just how that works.
They do. Yeah.
But these people who come over here to a country already built, left their homeland where they have their own people in their own country, and then come over here, look at black folk, and then try to talk down on black people, tell us what we not doing, calling us lazy, calling us this, calling us that, and everything else. But then they the first one to try to line up with black folk when it's time for black folk to get something. This is why black people, we have learned that we have no collective allies. We have none. We are on our own. Here in America and throughout the world, we are on our own. It is black folks versus everybody. That's really what it is. If you think about it, no collective group support black people unless they can use us, steal from us, abuse us, get over on us. This is globally I'm talking about. You're only our friend when you want something. That's it. And then you don't even have the common sense to be like, let me be cool with these people because these people are helping me get some money. They my people. You would think they would think like that, but they don't. These other groups, like I said, they trying to be stumbling blocks for us to get our reparations. But see, I always told y'all a long time ago about these other groups. That's light work. That's really light work. They don't have the staying power to be against us like that. They really don't. They'll say something, they'll gripe. The only thing they can do is assist the white supremacists. That's really the only thing they can do. And the white supremacists will throw them underneath the bus in 2 seconds. We all know this.
Yeah.
So when you hear these other groups griping, saying about what about us, well, I can't get it, but why should you guys get it and all that, listen, when I told y'all about don't waste your time arguing with the white supremacists about reparations, it's a time waster. We need to take that energy to focus on reparations, to keep reparations out there in the world. Keep speaking in the spirit. See, when you say we're going to get reparations, you're actually doing what the Bible tells you to do. The Bible say, call those things that be not as though they were.
That's true. That's true.
You understand?
That's true.
See, black people, you actually practicing
Very
a
true.
spiritual law.
Exactly.
A universal law that God put in the earth.
Exactly.
You keep saying, oh, we're going to get reparations.
Exactly.
Oh, we don't get it.
Exactly.
Listen, I don't care what you say. We're going to get it.
Exactly.
Because at one point in time, you say we're going to get off the plantation. And we kept saying we'll get off of that. We got off, right?
Exactly.
At one point in time, you said that we'd never have any kind of free movement in America. We got that to a point. So when it comes to this reparations, we going to get reparations. And they going to pay it. And matter of fact, they going to willingly pay it. They are. Because it's actually going to benefit them to pay reparations. Mm-hmm. Because they know the majority of black America is not going to just take the money and leave. Mm-hmm. They know that.
Right.
Some of us will take the money and leave. Right. But the majority won't.
No.
They know if they give black folks that money.
That's true. Black folks, no.
Businesses going to get started in the black community. Well, when businesses get started, taxes getting paid.
Right.
On state level and on the federal level.
Exactly.
Black folks can actually hire people. Yes. Can give jobs in the community. Yes. That stimulates the economy. That gets people off of unemployment.
Yes.
black people can get off of being homeless.
Yes.
That would actually help society, get those people off the streets in homes,
exactly,
and have them get a job and pay taxes,
exactly,
and be productive members of society again.
Exactly.
That benefits the country,
right?
Black folks need cars. That's going to benefit the country. Black people are going to do all kind of buying homes and anything that black people need.
Exactly.
It's going to be an injection of cash into American society.
Exactly.
Those idiots say, well, it's going to be a bunch of inflation. That's not the way America works. America needs you to spend. That's the way the economy works in America. If you don't spend, it actually hurts the economy.
Exactly.
All the companies will be salivating for black people to get reparations.
Exactly.
We know there's anti-black racists out there. Of course, they don't want black people to have it. But we're going to get reparations. It's going to happen. You other groups, those of you who standing against it, it's not your business.
That's
true.
You
came to this country.
That's true.
You're doing well for yourself.
That's true.
You felt that your promised land was to come to America, work, build yourself up,
and build generational wealth.
Okay, some of you have made it. Great.
Education,
I'm happy for you.
Right.
But you got to pay taxes in this United States of America.
Exactly.
And you incur the debts of any country that you go live in.
That's true.
Why didn't you say nothing about your tax dollars, about all that money going to Ukraine? You do know you can go to a website, I think it's USAID.gov. You can go see all the countries that get money, you'll get your tax dollars. You don't say nothing about that, but when your fellow countrymen, black Americans, even talking about a debt that's owed to them, it's a problem because you can't get it.
Exactly.
And not everybody.
Hold on, let me stop right here. I'm gonna speak. I'll speak. Not only that, when the one of the Asian groups that got repatriation at the time during the World War, there's a two during Japan versus the United States, and the United States dropped the bomb on Japan. They give them an apology, but not only that, they give the Japanese people an apology, but they give them special to make up for what the generation, even though it don't take the trauma away from the Japanese, but what their ancestors went through and put in Japanese camps out in the West Coast and different parts of America. But they got their reparations. Even the ones that were put into that got reparations. Certain native tribes that are Native Americans got some form of reparations, and passed the law. And just recently, they're gonna have their own history lesson taught courts. And the first one to sign on to this was the one that didn't want black history, but you can have Asian American history. That's Ron DeSantis. Yes, he just you could so if you want to know Asian American history, they're gonna make that how they began here and everything, and probably wherever Asian countries is they come from, they're gonna get there. But Black America, they're gonna kind of water it down and just sweep it under the rug, sweep it out, sweep it off the internet, try to sweep it off the books so kids won't know. But they'll know Asian American though. See, it's a Simon Says in this country. It's a Simon Says. But anyway, I'm going to go to this next. This one's kind of hilarious. But not only that these people, because the reason why they do that, ladies and gentlemen, some of these people of different nationalities bring this mindset. Some do. Is because the complexion of the skin in the demographic of the region of the world is less than. When they think of black people, African people from different parts of the diaspora, they think poor, uneducated, and irrational, and that they program on TV. But when the same the black Americans that get things popping, this is what's happened. You got some people, and I understand that some people, if they've been around a demographic of people that you talk like this, whatever environment you grew in. But some people go overboard with it. Watch what I'm about to show you, and you be a judge of this. It's kind of funny to me how this young lady is.
At Boar's Head, our
What
dark
was
chocolate hummus
shout out
is
this
crafted
CEO?
made
I
of
can't
the
say his
finest
name.
ingredients and rich
Yeah,
cocoa
heck,
to achieve a
I can't say
decadent
his name.
balance
But
of texture and flavor.
we
Dark chocolate hummus
some
from
young
Boar's
man's
Head.
name. But it's
Compromise
funny as
elsewhere.
heck. Check this out.
AFP is the premier
I hate these
grassroots
doggone
organization
commercials.
transforming policy in this.
On topic of me saying the N-word, nah, that was all on me. That was their on me. Don't mean nowhere. Don't mean if I grew up around people who said it. Don't mean who referred to me who said it, which they did. That's my fault for thinking I was okay for me to say it. That's not it.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Well, there's been mad controversy about my voice and what the I said. Let me tell you something. This is the last time I'm gonna say this. My voice is how I say. I'm not gonna fake some for 19 years. That don't make no sense. If I grew up in the projects, I'm gonna speak how the people around me speak. If I go to school with people who speak like this, I'ma speak how I speak. That's not faking or nothing like that. You a part of your environment. Y'all bitches should know that shit. And if I live in China, I damn well be speaking mad Chinese. Like, come on, this is science, bro. Like, not even science. It's ABC. Like, come on. You telling me I shouldn't be speaking like this, so how should I speak like? You tell me how I should speak like, and that's not being stereotypical because I'm Asian, because I look Asian. I should speak a certain way. That's not being racist in itself. That don't make no sense. And on topic of me saying the N-word, nah, that was all on me. That was their on me. Don't mean nowhere. Don't mean if I grew up around people who said it. Don't mean who referred to me who said it, which they did. That's my fault for thinking I was okay for me to say it. That's not it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not black. That was disrespectful to the African American community, and I should never be saying that. I issued an apology, and I meant that. I'm gonna learn from it, and I'm gonna never ever say that again because that's not cool. But even though I ain't meant that shit in no offensive way, no disrespect, that's something that I should not be saying as an Asian American. That I get. You can ask those around me who went for dummy law, and the people I went to school with, they know. That's how it's been sounding since day one. And you don't like this, you don't gotta hear it, you can unfollow, that's cool with me. You can leave. What you're not finna do is sit here and tell me that my voice is fake. And I'm trying to profit off of this. That make no sense. That dead ass makes no sense.
To the black community out there that specifically subscribe to this, and like I said, I have a certain love for New York. Shout out to the New York people. But it seems to be every time I look at these videos, it's either LA or it's New York, where you got black people that subscribe to or for the ability for other people that are outside of the black community to say certain things. Right? Like I said, I'm going to get on the whole speaking thing. That's a whole other part. But at this moment in time, like I said, I understand. I get it. It's like, hey, everybody's growing up. Everybody's, the same. Everybody in the hood. Everybody going to school. All this other type of stuff. That's cool. That don't mean that they specifically have to talk the exact same way. And no, I'm not trying to police anything that people do. I'm just giving a very helpful warning, because what's going to inevitably end up happening is that you can agree with the section of people that to sit up there and say it, but somebody from that same group that you okayed, like a cop, they'll turn around and start saying it, and then you want to get mad. That don't make no sense. That literally makes no sense. If you're going to okay the people that you are around, they can be Dominican, they can be Latin, they can be Mexican, they can be Asian, they can be white, whatever it is. If you okay any of those groups to say it, you're also okay and advocating for other people who are outside of the people that to say it as well. I don't think y'all understand that. So that's why I'm just trying to reiterate that. Because for whatever reason, people think that their permissions only extend to the people that are close to them. No, it doesn't. It's going to have far-reaching implications of which you cannot even foresee. Because when that person that you okayed to say it, they're going to go back to their own people. And then they're going to go, oh yeah, I know some boys, they let me sit up there and say it, so, you one of my boys just like I'm one of their boys, so, because of proximity, it's like, yo, you can sit up there and say it. That's how it starts. That's how it starts. So like I said, I'm not even sitting up there going on to the aspect of rap music and different things of that nature, because even within that, people make their own choices to say certain things. I done heard lyrics from other countries, and they might just so happen to use certain words that they specifically use to describe their own people. I'm not comfortable sitting up there saying it because that's not my people. I didn't grow up there. I don't got nothing to do with any of that. So I'm going to skip over and substitute that word. Or I don't even have to really pay attention to it. I'll just go over, the word.
Right.
But for whatever reason, everybody else, when it comes to rap, going into the music section, magically everybody wants to be like, oh no, it's a part of the art, so because it's there, I'm going to sit up there and say it. And if you guys didn't want us to say it, then rappers should not be using it. Black people, that's all deflection excuses. All you're doing is deflecting because you don't want to take responsibility for the fact that you made your choice to say a word that you know that you should not be saying, but you want to sit up there and say it, and you're going to give an excuse and try to back up that excuse as to why it is that you are able to say it, which is nonsensical and stupid. Because outside of any of that, you know you wouldn't be saying it. You know you wouldn't be doing it. You know that if you were to walk into a black community of somewhere that you are not comfortable, somewhere that you are not formal with, somewhere that you don't have family or friends with, and you walked into that community, you started trying to greet black people using that same word, you know what's going to happen. It's green. You're going to get run up out that hood.
Yeah. I tell you, man, most people love. Well,
you're going to get run up out that hood. You're going to get run up out that area. You're going to get run up out that state. It ain't going to work out well for you. So like I said, and I'm also, for a lot of other people out there that might not understand what I'm saying, just because people in these certain areas, more specifically LA and New York, okay you to say these certain things, don't think that you can go to other black areas around the United States and sit up there and say this. Just because they give you passes, don't mean that every other black person, every other black community, every other black hood, every other black city is going to give you that same pass. Please don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. Do not trifle with your life. Do not think that this is a game, because you got some people out there that will sit up there and take this to the utmost seriousness. They will take it to the highest reaches and the highest levels.
Yeah, sure
and
will.
None of your friends that okayed you are going to be able to save you when you end up meeting up with those people.
They're not going
to be able to fight those battles for you. Everything that you bring on yourself is going to be 100% on you. Now, the other aspect that I want to touch on, because I know more than likely who she hangs out with. I know who more than likely her friends or her associates, are, that she's around. All I'm saying is this: to those women out there, y'all should be very careful of the individuals that you allow to be around you, allowed to be next to you, and allowed to mimic, right, and take on certain things. If I were to literally take you from the United States and put you in any Asian country, you're not going to automatically, specifically have the exact, down to the T, sound as them. You're still going to have your own type of soul directly to it. Right? You're still going to have your own different type of soul. It's going to be a little thing. It's going to be something there that's going to be noticeable. Right? So you have this Asian woman who's like, well, I grew up around black people, the hood, school, all this other type of stuff. I'm 19, like, this is me. I came out like this. Nah, sweetheart, you didn't come out like that. You didn't come directly out of the womb like that. And I'm going to just guess that both of your parents are Asian.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not seeing a hint of melanin nowhere in there. No hints. It's like almond milk. I'm not seeing a hint of nothing. Right? And you're going to say you came out like that. Nah, because I promise you, more than likely, your parents wasn't talking like that. And that's bars. Because I can promise you, their parents, which will be your grandparents, would find that unacceptable. I promise you, if you were to sit up there and go back to, where it is that your family's lineage is from, they would look at you like an eyeball. They'll be like, "Why are you talking like that?
Exactly.
Why? Like, what are you doing?"
Right.
Like, they would tell you that's not how you normally talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, I get the whole thing of being so far, quote unquote. Well, I'm just going to say only when it comes to specifically black culture, because oddly enough, whenever it comes to black culture, everybody has the same stereotypical deep voice, accent, ebonic, type of thing going on. And then I'm not even going to touch on the whole mannerisms that a lot of people like to sit up there and use. And when you have people that are outside of the black culture that are not black, they like to accentuate.
Yeah.
they like to really exaggerate.
Yeah.
A lot of these things because they're overcompensating, because they have to. They feel that they have to, due to the fact that they know that they are themselves not black. Right? They didn't have two black parents. They didn't have the black American experience. They don't have all of that things, all those things that built us. They don't have all of that within them internally. So they have to, try to overcompensate somehow. Right? And like I said, in the 90s and in the early 2000s, black people noticed that we would sit up there and tell us, like, "Yo, man, what you doing? Like, you don't got to do all that. Just be you. Like, it's cool. Yada, 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 all that good stuff," right?
Right.
And now, instead of black people, in a sense, checking them and letting them know, like, "Yo, you don't got to do all of this just to, be with us. Like, you're cool. Like, you can just be here."
Right.
Nah, black people just letting anything slide.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
Anything. On top of the fact, y'all basically allowing her to sit up there and say certain words online, which is crazy. Like I said, this is what I mean when I say that black people will let any and everybody into the black community, into the black culture, into the black family. And then we want to turn around and get mad when, they disrespect us, when they say something that they shouldn't have been saying, when they say something that we don't like.
That's true.
Or when they're not defending us when it's time for them to actually show up, right? You done gave them the black card, right? But now when it's time to actually be black, they'll switch over to who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, black people won't learn. It's going to be a hard lesson. It's going to be a real hard lesson. Like I said, y'all like to listen. Y'all don't like to learn. Y'all like to learn to listen by going through very hard and difficult trials. No problem. Y'all going to end up getting those. And every single race on this planet is going to sit up there and show you that, because you keep continuing to allow every single race to be in and around you to absorb and go directly into the culture and different things of that nature. But yet at the end of the day, how is that benefiting the black community? You're allowing all of these people to absorb into the culture, and then when it's time for them to pull back and take what they need, they'll do that. And then they're basically making money off of a culture that you allowed them into because you felt that they love the culture. You also love those people being there, celebrating you and your culture. But long story short, they left out with a bag, and you're just still being black and broke. Moral of the story, every single time that black people allow people to be in the culture, they will turn around and capitalize and make money off of it. While black people, still to this day, cannot make money off of themselves, even off of their name. That's in all caps that they get delivered in the mailbox every single day. Everybody else makes money off of you, while you can't make money off of you. That's clear cut what she's doing. That's clear cut what she's able to do. That's clear cut with the other girl, the actress that works for Disney. She getting that Disney money, Aquafina. That's clear cut what she's able to do. You saw how she swapped it up. She was the same way. She was like, "Yeah, I talk like this, yada yada yada, all this other type of stuff," and then once she started getting that Disney money, she went right back to normal. Ain't that something? But like I said, keep believing that people like her are automatically for the culture and of the culture, and they're going to stand 10 toes down, because I promise you, when things really start getting hot, they the first ones leaving. They the first ones jumping, first ones hopping. They the first ones looking for some water. But like I said, y'all gonna learn. It is what it is.
Liar. Many of them are.
Wow, I can't stress enough, man. It's just that wow, man. It's you can be around other cultures. I've been around people. I never feel like I gotta go out of the way and act like I'm from that culture. It's good to learn the language and certain things, but I've been around different. I have never ever had to go around other people and had to switch up just to say, "Wow, man, let me get in with them so let them know I'm cool," or whatever. It's like that is the craziest shit I've ever seen. I mean, it's one thing if you were naturally, for example, I've heard some Asians in the South, and some sound like they're from the South, like country white people and black people. I can understand that because the region that they're at and the friends that they're around, and maybe the most of the people, because it is a southern in the region, and so their accent is, especially Asian Americans, some of them sound southern, like a southern black or white woman. I can get that. I can understand that. But and if you're a black person and you've been around, let's say, you've been up in the northwest corner of the United States and north, so you're gonna have a little bit of a northern, demeanor, accent, but you're not. That's how, and you were raised in a predominantly Caucasian white suburb. I can understand you being. Some people, it's natural, but with these other people, man, that come along, what it is that when they see that the rap music and sports, which is majority of us, is in whatever's hopping in the club, they try to be cool. I swear, I think that's what it is. Like, because darn well, he's right. So they go out their way because they were probably awkward around their friends. And I mean, it's cool that you got a few black friends, but oh my goodness gracious of life. I mean, I've been around other people and been in their presence, and I've never had to go out my way and act like I'm from the. I stay who I am, and I stay James all the way. I'm not gonna go out there. I've been around Latinos and a few Asian people. I've never tried to mimic them and try to mimic the Puerto Ricans or the Dominicans or the Mexicans. I never do something like that. I still stay James Thomas. I'm still the same personality, whether I'm with my people or around white people or around my own people. I just don't understand that, man. It's like, why did they go out? Some of these people go out and do that. I mean, and then he's right, man. He's right. Black folks, that's on you. That's why you be putting the N-word out there in front of everybody. I see comedians doing it. They see it and stuff, man. And some of these folks ain't got no sense. They think, oh, that's cool. Hey, man, that's why they flip. Hey, I want to be an N-word too. It's like, just. And someone's with the common sense looking at them like, are you for real? Yo, man, it's like, be yourself, for real. I mean, I've been in the inner city, and I've been to this, and I went to school, like I say in other videos, the suburb, but I'm not like going all the way. That's why I'm glad that I grew up in a balanced area, because even though I knew one day I would be reminded that I'm a black man in this country. No matter, my mother, she worked hard to bring me into the suburbs, because like most black people, you want to go and so your kids get education. So whatever environment you around, you become that environment. And I totally get it. Then you got some Negroes that go completely way over them. I mean, really, it's like, okay, I understand you in the environment. It's like, be like, Telly be eradicated. Oh my God, dude. I mean, like, oh, you all eradicated. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm like, are you serious? It's like, and it's like, it's funny. He's like, stop talking like that. You mocking us. I mean, it's funny, man. Some stuff is just hilarious. You know, you seen some black dude with put blonde hair in the street, and like, oh man, I moved up the coast to California, and dude, I'm just saying, I'm from Babagasse, man. I'm just really. I mean, like, you be like, no, yeah, it's some black folks like that. But to be fair, and you know, you got some black people that live in the country, and they like to do the same thing. I can understand that. You know, they was raised on the farm, and so you gonna, for your white buddies that they was raised on the farm in their country. I get them kind of black people. They were raised in some backward small town in Kentucky or Mississippi or West Virginia somewhere. Them are the kind of people I understand. So they're gonna sound and do things what their atmosphere do. But they ain't being. That's who they are. They some country black folks. You know, I get this. You know that they like bull riding and they some even like country music. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. But even if they even like country music, they ain't going all the way out their way and being over the top, being country. You know, and like in NASCAR. You know, they don't go all out of their way to be like this. And you know, it's like, wow, you know, it's just the environment and what they enjoy and a few friends that they've been around. Them kind of people I understand. But when you get these people that go way over the top, like, you just know, that you can tell when you've been around people for a while and you see how the way their friends is, you see how their family interact, you see like, wait a minute, they don't talk like, hey, it's something, and meet some of their old friends and see where they come from. You find they ain't talking like they're a damn fool, looking like a fool. And even if I was over in the Asian country, I ain't gonna just because if I lived over there, I ain't gonna start mimicking their accent and stuff like that. That's crazy. Like China or Korea, or one of the other places. Like just because you over there, you don't have to mimic their whatever their gestures is. It's like I don't understand that, man. And then like you said, when the push comes to shove, are you gonna still be like that? Oh Jesus, yeah. I mean, you got friends. I get it. I mean, I had some white friends, but I never like totally did. I'm just eradicated. Rock on, man. All's on the way. I don't go all the way out there like that. I'm not like oh man, Zeppelin all the way. I mean, but you got some black folks like that out there. There's a few sprinkled among them, but I mean, hey, it's one thing if they was raised in that environment, then you can see it. But when if you live in the city and you go, you be the first white person, you start talking like, then they see where you come from. You're like, what the hell? You see that their parents don't talk like that, their brothers and sisters don't talk like that, their boys don't talk like that. People that they usually associate around. It's like, come on, man. But he's right though, man. Some black people, sometimes we don't have a sense to keep it in our own backyard. We got to make a public nuisance and put it on TV and all over the internet and all over the damn place, not knowing that these folks are trying to right sit next to their parents and say, what you watching? Get away from the hell. I don't want you around them doggone people. And they see that. Why are you talking like that? They be telling them that in their own language and stuff. They do. And they just, get mad. They're like, yeah, everybody's not that way. Yeah. One time, I forgot, there was one commentator. He was a YouTuber now. He was a black dude. He went over into South Korea, right? And I don't know if it was one of them. He traveled over there. He was doing a traveling blog, and I think he's like, cause he was like a DJ or something, and so he went over there and he got with some of his Korean friends, but he was telling one time he was hearing the rap music and things over in South Korea. But soon, when a black guy shows up in this club over there, they got some kind of antic, whatever. But they listen to your music. They don't want to be. It's like I keep saying, man. People want something of you, but they don't want to be you. When the push comes to shove, and so he has a good point about that. It's like they mimic you because they see you guys, and then when they come around, people, no. When it comes to the push comes to shove, and going through the hardship of what we go through, whether this part or that part of the girl, they literally split. They cut you off. Most of them will cut you off. They do. And it's funny how everybody, I'm telling you, man, soon, but if the government will ever do the right thing and give black people, hopefully that one day that they will, and I believe that it will, but this, I was thinking about this today. This is the best way they can get black Americans. Give them land, give them some resource like gold or and livestock, and or like gold or something, that because we see that the dollar is dropping, but just in case in that, and I know some black people, I want my money, but money is not going to have much of a value here pretty soon the way it's going. So you might have to get some land and some gold and some to live off the land. For majority of it's going to stay in this country. That's number one, because the money value is going to be worth the darn. Just in case you want to travel overseas or something like that, you'll have something to be able to, if you want to live in another country or visit and spend your money in another country over on Latin America or the Caribbean or Africa or something like that, you'll have that. But you'll have something. But that's but the ones who don't, who's going to stay here and live here, I believe something like gold, silver, platinum, that you can have, and you have generational wealth that our ancestors would do. That's one thing that would do that. In land and poetry, like stock, animals, cows, goats, pigs, for those black folks that like to farm and garden and things like that. That'd be the best way, because we ain't nobody just in case. Okay, you don't want to give us the 10, but give us that. That's only fair, because the black towns, a lot of descendants of black people, that's what they were measuring to. And they when they took the land, the value of the land and the property, and ran them off, whatever, and that's what they took. So the be what reparations would be, that would be to give it like that, and the government should do it. Like Phil said, it ain't go. You're gonna have to pay for it anyway. So, and if that really does, and which I believe one day it will done, these same racist people who are the kids who put us at the bottom chain as far as complexion, darker body complexion, light to white, but light to white is right, darker brown is low. Watch what's gonna happen. They gonna. I think we got some black in us too. Watch what I would tell you. Black folks are looked deemed upon as demons in mainstream media and animalistic and what I say throughout the world. But if that would change, if one day would not change, they're saying people be smiling up in your face, trying to befriend you and try to be and mimic you and act like you. At the same time, but when you get in trouble, like he said, you get in trouble, there ain't no place to be found. So that's why I want to play this video, because they think they're going. But see, if the Lord conquered one of these days, when He conquered white supremacy, all that stuff, all that whiteness and white to light, the dark down the bottom, the totem pole, is going to collapse. And watch the same people that talk down on black people going to be the same ones that's going to be trying to kiss they behind to want to do business with them. You watch. You watch. The same people that dog you and dog you as a people, watch what I'm saying. They're going to try to be you. They're going to try to take your identity. Watch what I'm saying. Oh, you won't have, if you're a black man or a black woman, you want to marry, they'd be ready to give you your daughter and your son and your family. I don't want no black nappy. Oh, they won't mind having a nappy headed child then. They want to take on. Oh, these Negroes are rich. They're about as rich as the white people. Watch. Because I mean, a few of us have been in some places and as mayors and police chief and governor, and maybe a few. We made it, but but the same ones. If we went as the masses, as the people, these same people who would never want to associate with black people, never want. They try to mimic you. Their kids try to mimic you, and everything. Watch. They really want to be black then. They love it. They be loving black folks then. And it's like Phil said, it would go right back in your community. It would go back to the Asian salons, the restaurants, some Middle Eastern people, along with the East Indians that own the hotels, in the convenience stores. It would go right back to the people, and the different other groups of people that really don't despise us, but don't despise our dollar here in this country. Trust me. They be, oh, hello black men, come on inside. And watch. They be trying to figure out that's what they did now. How is that people who don't have the same hair as black women get into the industry where mostly black women and make $1 billion business off of you. And that's what the Koreans and few of these other people did. And they don't have black hair like you do. The hair is not like yours. And the wigs, who designed the wigs? They went to Africa, and they found the way, and they mimicked, and they took it back to China and Korea, and you making the money. And so they come over, adopt your language, and send their kids to college and school, and they're making billions of dollars off of you. That's a fact. Same way with them different groups that come from over in near North Africa. Same thing that they do. They take the commerce and they put up in your community across America. There's every little mom and pop looking store, convenience looking store. When you walk in there, majority, what do the people look like? And they're the most poorest, impoverished, worst, run-down place throughout the city. And then the people ain't even down there in the city. They out there with the upper white class. It's the truth. And some might feel joke with you. Hell, maybe one of the kids might smoke weed with you, but they don't want you. They don't like you. They like your money, but they don't like you. I'm just saying. You can tell when you visit the establishment. I ain't got to say nothing. You already know if you in the city, if you go in the city, and you are this complexion, but yet they're around people mostly with this complexion and mostly a poverty neighborhood. There's white people down there, but and a few other people, but it's mostly us. But anyway, I didn't want to go into the random way, but I thought that was kind of hilarious. At the end, and then her mimicking. What I was saying was, it's like, oh Lord Jesus, she's trying to do that. How some black women have that. There's certain kind of black women that got that kind of, their personality like that. And it's just funny. It's just, I mean, like, God, dog. Some people go, like I said, they go over the top. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. But yeah, it comes back to y'all. Y'all keep, and I mean, it's not you could do, but they always wait in the clouds and watch how the way you respond to one another. Then when you go mainstream and rap music, and here they come. Basketball, here they come. Wherever majority y'all at, us clowning around things. Here they come. One of them gonna come out the crowd trying to mimic your culture, but mimic your ways, get rich on your ways. But when it push comes to shove, they're gonna speak. They're gonna get the sense real quick. And you see some white people like that. You see, like I was telling my friend of mine, we talk about Kid Rock. When Kid Rock started out, before he came Kid Rock that he is, he came to the Brothers. There's an old video of Kid Rock rapping with some black dudes, throwing some rhymes and stuff like that. Now when he got with his hands up, now he's one to want to give that guy up who strangled that young man in New York. He gave him some money. But he used the black culture to get into the music business, just like a lot of them do. Then they show they behind. When they get their hands up, there ain't no loyalty to you. They'll give you the credit. And it's the truth. There's an old video out there of him, and a few of them like that. When they get super white when only in a minute when it comes to going down with it. They abandon you. See, your thing is all through music, because hip hop is the hype. And once they do that, I see them getting your documentaries. Like, look at this goofy looking white dude. What the hell? Telling about your street and the gangs in your city. And they make hundreds of thousands off of you. Alright then. Yeah. When y'all keep being in this young generation, they don't understand the concept. Because they're just too busy being the N-words. Calling each other the N-words. And white people capping it off the N-word. So when they watching you doing that, and they said, why are those black people calling it the N-word? It's just like there's an old scripture. You don't have to curse Israel. Israel will curse itself. And when you do that, you become the N-word that they say. They don't tell you that, but they can't stand when the kids act like they just think, oh, Johnny's just going through a little rebellion. But they know I'm telling the truth. Because if you could, when you're not in their presence, that's what's really going on. And that's why they called it the white N-word. Oh, you act like a white N-word. You know what that is. There's purpose for why they said that. But anyway, alright then, guys. Just a little lesson. Next time, hope you like it. Subscribe, share, take care. And for the people who are, let me say before I go, it's alright to have someone of a different culture like black people, but you don't have to go out your way and go extend it. Let them be who you stay who you are. I mean, you don't have, just because you got black friends or from any other culture, just be yourself. That's all. Be who God creates you to be. Let them develop your personality. Even if they want to act hood, don't be hood with them. Because you're gonna come across some people who are black who aren't hood. So just be yourself. Just like I'm myself when I go on other cultures and people. I don't go out my way. I'm balanced. People respect when you're balanced, as long as you got common sense. Take care.